So I'm an egg. Hey there! Welcome to episode 2 of the Caffeinated Knitter. I'm real impressed you managed to find this because no one found the first one. That's a lie. 3 people found the first one. Thank you, 3 people. I'm Claudia. I'm going by the Caffeinated Knitter because I drink a shit ton of coffee. My coffee in my beautiful Van Gogh mug. So pretty. It's a different one than last week, which, if you did not see the first episode, you should go watch the first episode purely for seeing the other Van Gogh mug. But yeah, I haven't gotten the most done since the last one. I say this. I don't remember what I showed you last time in terms of progress, as I was drinking wine at the time. Once again, go watch episode 1. We're gonna see how many times I can plug my one other episode. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with works in progress. I'm working on the same 2 things. The baby blanket, I'm not even gonna bother showing you because I literally knit maybe 1 or 2 more rows and you can't visually see it. I haven't been prioritizing that one as much because my girlfriend was out of town and I was working on the As If tee, which I have made. Come here without falling apart. Okay, with the As If tee, I have made progress on because this is now the back. I think it was like here last time. And now this is the back, and I am 44 rows of stockinette up. So I have 4 more before I start working on the mohair. I'm not using real mohair. Yeah, so 4 more rows until I can start doing something different. And then I just have to knit the thing together, sew the thing together, which I did get not sewing needles, but yarn sewing needles. Have I mentioned that I don't know what I'm doing in general as a person? Just a concept. Cool, but yeah, so I'm knitting the As If tee by Shay Johnson. It's here, it's this, it's very cute. I'm ready, I'm so ready to see what it looks like in the end. I am using some cheap ass yarn, which I now, if you want to check me out on Ravelry, my username is lipglossmermaid. I now have updated my stash on there to where it shows all the yarns that I have, which I have new yarns to show y'all. But it is the Caron Simply Soft Tweeds in the color cream or off-white? Off-white. This is the color off-white. It's gonna be the body of it, and then I am knitting the top part in this, which is only 10% mohair, but we're ignoring that and calling it mohair and pretending that it's actually just legit mohair. Just so I can show you all the front part. I'm being really scrambled today. Sorry about it. I'm in a sassy mode. But yeah, this is the front panel. Boom, gorgeous, iconic. I was at Michael's earlier today and I almost bought like stitch holders, because for this I'm just using 3 different safety pins. And then I was like, wait, no, I shouldn't spend money on those as I have safety pins. I spent money on safety pins specifically so that I wouldn't have to spend money on stitch holders or stitch markers. They can do everything. We love safety pins. I got a pack like 45 for like $3. It's great. I love it. This is this. Yeah, that's pretty much that. These are my works in progress. The baby blanket, like I said, I made almost no progress on, so I'm not bothering with. But my girlfriend is back in town, so I'm having to be very, very sneaky finishing the As If tee because I don't want her to know what it is. So I'm not telling her. She just knows it's a garment. But yeah, it's a super easy pattern to follow. Shay Johnson did come out with version 2.0 yesterday, I believe, or a few days ago, actually, by the time I upload this, a few days. And I knew she was coming out with the second version, but I really wish I would have waited and started knitting it when the second version came out, because I've read the pattern, not read fully, but like skimmed it, the new version, and it's so much more in depth. There's 9 sizes now versus the original 4, and like you can knit it in the round, which is the bigger thing that I wish I would have known before starting it. But it's fine. Whenever I go back and knit one for myself, I can knit it in the round. It'll be nice and cool, and I'll have what I want, you know? It'll be chill. Now, last time I talked about wanting to start the Surino Symphony shawl / I'm doing a knit along via Ocean Loops on Instagram of the Surino Symphony shawl by Stephen West. I have not started it, even though the knit along ends at the end of July, and it is June 21st, and it is a full ass shawl in fingering weight yarn. But I got the yarn, so let me show y'all that. Also, I have some other yarn that I have a story behind. And also, I went to my first yarn shop, and that has a story-ish / I have feelings. But so, for the Surino Symphony shawl, I have, this is going to be my main color. The color is calling itself mauve, which all I can think of is the rude chick in Hannah Montana. And it's mauve. It's mauve. I used to be able to quote that phone call. It was a fun time. Which, yeah. So they're calling it mauve. I don't think it is. I think it's like burgundy, but it's very pretty. This is going to be the main color. Then for the complementary colors going through it, we have this green color that the yarn is calling olive, which all of these are loops and threads wool-like similane. But the brand is Loops and Threads, which is very confusing because I didn't realize that when I was trying to find it on Ravelry, and it took me 4 or 5 tries. So, main color number 1, color number 2, color number 3. So this is going to be the color scheme for my Surino Symphony shawl. Though these yarns are all in a little over 600 yards in each of them. The only color that needs 600 yards for the actual pattern is this one. So the rest of them, I believe the smallest amount is 80 for this one and 150 for, I believe, the green. Okay, but I got the yarns for that, so I'm going to be starting that tonight when Madison's at home. Madison's my girlfriend, by the way. I don't know if I've said her name, but when Madison's at home with me, then I need something to work on that is not her present. So I'm going to start the shawl. The shawl probably isn't going to be for me. I'm probably going to make it a Christmas present for like my mom or one of my sisters or something. I don't know yet, but either way, I'm very excited that the fingering weight yarn balls are so much, because that means that I will have some left over for some other smaller projects. Like I have a pair of socks I have in my queue, and then a beanie with like flies across the brim that I'm gonna do before too long, and I'm super pumped about. I love bug imagery. Like, ooh, give me some bugs. Yeah. In case you haven't noticed, I have a very like all over the place style. If you can't tell from my vaporwave style jumper and my Van Gogh mug. To be fair, the Van Gogh mug isn't actually mine. That was a Christmas present my girlfriend got. But besides the point. So those are the yarns I got. I'm going to start the Surino Symphony. I'm very nervous about it, purely because it has a lot of things I haven't done before. I've never knit a shawl before. I've never done brioche before. There are like these bubbling techniques that I've looked at the pattern, and he has like photos in there, and like, yeah, I don't know how to do those. I don't know how to make the big holes in the shawl, which if you haven't looked at the pattern, go check it out. If you go on my Ravelry at Lip Gloss Mermaid and look in my queue, it's there. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff that I'm nervous about, but I figure it's a learning experience. One thing I will say is needles. So the pattern asks for size US 5 needles that are circular needles that are 40 inches long. Michaels doesn't sell those. They sell US 5 needles that are 29 inches cord length. So we're gonna squish it because I'm not ordering stuff online. But no, other yarn that I have also. So my girlfriend went out of town. She went to visit her parents. her mom sort of felt bad that she didn't fly me back with her, even though like I was working 46 hours that week. Like there's no physical way I could have like asked for a week off, especially because I'm going on vacation in July. But her mom felt bad, so she bought me yarn. So this one is big chunky weight Karen in pink. I love pink. I love pink so much. I don't know what for sure I'm gonna knit out of this yet. I have a few different things saved in my favorites. Maybe some house slippers and a bag. I don't know yet. But there's this, and then there is the Caron Big Cakes. This one's this one's super bulky, number 6. And this one's worsted. So this one I actually know what I'm gonna do. In my queue, I have the Excuse Me dress by Stephen West. Excuse spelled A-S-K-E-W-S. Hello. Okay. Sorry, my low battery thing popped up. Can you tell I'm very professional? But that is like this weird, like asymmetrical, like color, different colors. I think it's brioche throughout all of it. So if I like brioche, I'm doing that. And this is fun colors that I like neutral enough that I can wear it to work. And I like them. And so I'm gonna make this part of that. Obviously not the whole thing, as I don't think this is enough for a whole dress. I really don't have the best context. But, so those are my plans. Those are new yarns I have. So that's my works in progress. I have no finished objects. Yarn haul. Now, story time about my first ever visit to a local yarn shop. So I am in Idaho. There's one in town. And I'm not gonna go through the name of it because I don't know. I was taught computer safety at a very pivotal age where the internet was still new and like Facebook didn't exist yet. So like I'm still have that weird paranoia instilled in me as a child that like if I say any personal details about myself, such as like my last name or like anything, even the state I live in makes me nervous. Like I have a very strong dose of fear of being stalked on the internet, but yeah. But no, so I went into there because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check it out. You know, I'll get the supplies for the Surino Symphony shawl. It'll be nice. I'll get some yarns that aren't all acrylic or like even any acrylic, and it'll be nice and it'll be good. I did not realize how much yarn cost. So the reason I waited until today was because they posted on Instagram being like, hey, we're starting a big sale starting on like the 19th. Well, some things were on sale, but the things were on sale were still like 25 bucks a skein because the rest of the shop is like 30 plus. And I cannot justify a $150 $150 shawl. That is not in my budget as a person who is not rich. So I went in there, looked at the prices, then awkwardly wandered around to make so that it didn't seem like I just like went in to look and then like went, oh, you know, because I didn't want to be rude, but I'm also like, so much money. How does anybody buy anything from somewhere that isn't Michael's? How? You guys, how? That is so much money. How do you justify that? No. So I went to Michael's and the total yarn plus needles, plus knitting needles, plus like sewing needles cost like 17 bucks. Like, yeah, that's about where my budget's at, and I'm very happy that there's a Michael's right down the street that saves my ass. So I don't know how anybody has the money to spend on yarn. Like, I don't know if it's people who like used to like shop a lot and like and now they're making their stuff, so they're like, oh well, I used to spend that much on clothing. Maybe I'm just really cheap and never got in the habit of like spending huge amounts of money, because I have thrifted every single thing I've bought since high school except for like 2 things. And even before high school, even during high school and stuff, like exclusively a sale shopper. If something costs more than $10, that's dumb and overpriced. Like, it might just be that I'm cheap. And I understand wanting to make sure, like, wanting to make sure that people get paid for their hard work. I understand that. However, like, how does everyone who, like, posts on Instagram about, like, oh, I got this independent yarn and this fancy yarn and blah, 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 like, how do you afford that and, like, rent and food? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't know, maybe I am just broke youngin' mindset, but yike. So I just got yarn for this at Michael's. I did look on Knit Picks online, and I found plenty of affordable options on there that are not acrylic. So I am going to start trying to shop on there as a healthy and medium ground. And then, like, maybe as a treat, or like ask for Christmas that, like, people buy me yarn from fancier places. But, like, I just can't mentally justify spending that much money. Plus, a lot of it isn't machine washable. And here's the thing. I, and everyone else in my life, are very practical people, especially in terms of clothing. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, gift my mom something that isn't machine washable, because, like, what's she gonna do? She's not gonna hand wash it. That's way too much to ask of her, and, like, too much of a burden to put on her. I'm not gonna do that to myself. Like, that's, where am I washing it? I'm in a box. Like, I don't know. I just don't get how people can spend so much money on anything. But, like, I don't, how do you justify a $150 shawl? Like, I didn't pay $150 for my prom dress, you know? Whenever I get married a few years down the road, I'm probably won't spend more than, like, $200 on whatever I wear for my wedding. Like, I don't understand at all. Although, if my head is still shaved around the time when I want to get married, there's a very good chance I'll get a head tattoo. Like, just something really cool. And just justify it by being like, oh, I'm getting married. It's a treat for myself. I love tattoos, by the way. I don't know, that's not obvious, because I think both episodes I've worn long sleeves, but I do have a few tattoos, and I want to cover my body in tattoos, and I want all my piercings. I was in an accident. I had to take out my industrial and tragus and 2 on my nose. Otherwise, I would have those. But I really miss my piercings, and I didn't realize how much I missed them till I shaved my head. And that's when I put my earlobe earrings back in. And then I was like, shoot, this is what I wanted to look like a few years ago. This is, like, the look I've always wanted, because I'm going off on a weird tangent. Sorry if you wanted to mostly watch knitting shit. You gotta deal with me rambling, especially because I didn't get much done in the past week. But it's fine. But, like, I don't know. I always really liked the, like, punk aesthetic. Like, and I believe in the, like, ideologies generally, too. Like, but I was really, like, I always, like, from, like, age 12, wanted, like, all the piercings and, like, to be covered in tattoos and brightly colored hair, which I ended up just shaving it, because I did brightly colored hair for a few years, and that's real rough on how your hair feels, and I also like my hair to be comfy. So, it's gone. Which is really nice, and I love having my shaved head. It was a very impulsive decision. Because I talk about it a lot. I talk about consistently about, like, oh, maybe I'll just shave my head. Maybe I'll just shave my head. Hold on, let me check my time. Laptop. Oh, Frank. Hold on, I'm gonna cut this out. Hey, Claudia, cut this out. Edit the thing. 4:07, okay. But no, so I really just was like, I'm gonna shave my head, because I talk about it a lot, and I wasn't seriously considering doing it in that moment. But then I was at work, and someone who's come through before had not seen me since I had cut my hair short, because it used to be, like, here, and had not seen me since I cut my hair short, and she was like, oh, why don't you just, like shave it all off. I have a friend who just did that, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So I shaved my head. I woke up at 6:30 the next morning and shaved my head. So low impulse control is me, but it's fine. I'm doing great. I do love it. It's a good time. Of course, as soon as I shaved my head, we went from having the highs in like the mid to high 80s down to like the mid 60s. Immediately, next day, temperature dropped. It stayed dropped. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt at the end of June. Sorry if you're somewhere hot and looking at me causes you pain, but I'm enjoying the weather. It's so nice. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I just wanted to really get to the 20-minute mark because, yeah, I mostly watch really, really long podcasts and I sort of feel bad that mine are not going to be that long, but I also don't own a yarn store. And a lot of the people who do podcasts own their own yarn shops, and so they have a whole segment just showing you each yarn that they're putting up and like talking about that, and like I'm not there. That's not, I don't even know if that's something I want to do. Probably not. Maybe. Probably not. I like where I'm at. Currently, physically, right now. Not much, not in terms of anything else, but. But yeah, so that was my podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I am Claudia. Check back next Monday. I will have another podcast. Hopefully I have the As If Tea finished and a decent amount of the Surino Symphony shawl done. Hopefully. I would like to ideally go on that. People talk about it like it's very easy and very addictive. So hopefully I find it to be that. Hopefully I enjoy it. Yeah, we're gonna go with it. But yeah, so this was my podcast, and I will see everyone next Monday with another one. I've done 2 weeks in a row, so now I gotta stick with it. All right, thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. Follow me on Instagram at lipglossmermaid. Like and subscribe here. Please subscribe. Please watch me talk. Thank you. I will see you guys next week. Bye.